Hey guys, just finished watching Luke Cage Season 2, Episode 6 and Episode 7. His episode, still this season, I really don't like this season where things are going. It's getting a little bit more interesting as things are kind of slowly building up and stuff. And things are kind of getting a little more interesting, but not too much. So let's jump into it. We got Episode 6. We see Luke hiding out with Prawn in an old movie theater. Or in the back of one type thing, which is pretty cool with that. Since if you look in the comic books, he actually lived in a on top of an old movie theater in the comic books in his first few appearances, right after he got out of Seagate and stuff. So that's really cool seeing that reference coming back from the comics. And then we get Misty punches a metal shelf when she's in the precinct. She's trying to interrogate Mariah, or wants to interrogate Mariah, but the captain won't let her. She punches the metal thing, and she sees it just crumple right in front of her, and she's like, whoa. So now she knows that she's like able to bend the crap out of metal and stuff. So Shades and Comanche are talking in Pop's bar, and they're sitting back to back. They go in there looking for Luke Cage and stuff, and they're sitting back to back, and they have like a whole long conversation, this back and forth between the two of them. And I was just looking at that, watching that, going, I just don't care. The relationship that they've built between Shades and Comanche and stuff, it really didn't interest me whatsoever. It was like they were talking, and it was just stuff, and it was just kind of just boring yapping on type thing. So I really just got bored of that scene when they were talking. I really just didn't care about their story together or anything like that. So that was kind of annoying in that scene. Luke ends up calling Misty to find out where, and she finds. And that's where she finds Jamaican's car standing outside of the police station, sitting outside of the police station. She tries to go after it, and it takes off type of thing, but that's when she sees that everything's kind of, they're all being watched and stuff. And then they find, and then the Jamaicans end up finding Prana, but Luke ends up saving him just in time. And that's, they try to take him out of the movie theater, and he runs after them and takes them all out, which is pretty interesting, pretty cool. But it's nothing new that we haven't seen with Luke Cage before. Him just bopping up a couple of guys, throwing them around. It's really cool. It's really fun watching that, but it just doesn't up the stakes. We haven't seen him do anything new we haven't seen before. He's done all this stuff. I feel like he's done bigger things in Luke Cage Season 1. He's done bigger things in Defenders, So seeing him here just take on a couple of guys with machine guns, it really not that interesting. The only bigger thing he's done in this is hold a grenade, but that's not really bigger than surviving an entire building being rocket launched onto you type thing. And so it really doesn't it's really not as cool as what he did in the first season and what he did in Season 1 of Defenders type thing. So that's when Misty tries to tell her captain that she almost framed Cockroach, and she was becoming a Scarf, and that's why she wants to quit as the police from the police department, and he's just like, you have to live with that, and she ends up just quitting the police department right then and there, because she won't have that. She doesn't like that. She's gonna there's no repercussions for that, and he's like, he needs her right now, right? He needs her. Everything's going too bad. He needs his best detective. So, but she still ends up quitting, and Luke calls Bushmaster to challenge him, and that's when they get into a fight. They start fighting, and he blows some sort of power that kind of paralyzes Luke, and it's like, what? Like, oh my god! It was just like that idea of that is a little bit far-fetched to me. I get the idea of where they're coming from and all, and then that idea would work on a show like Gotham, on a show like with Poison Ivy and things like that. That makes more sense character-wise. She's been, she got powers and stuff. This is just some random guy who found some actual herbs. It just doesn't fit with the whole realism of this show. I guess I'm able to let it go a little bit. It's just kind of a little silly, and then he kicks Luke into the water, and that's where we end the episode. We pick it right up in the next episode, Episode 7, on and on. And that's when we see Luke has his life flashing before his eyes, and he's seeing his mother and his father blaming him for his mother's cancer because he went into Seagate and stuff, even though he was framed and stuff. Misty tries to play basketball with her arm. She's kind of missing. That's when her captain comes around to try and bring her back to the police department. She says no. The Jamaicans end up getting a hold of Prana. Luke and Misty team up, and Misty's like, I'm not your, he's like, I'm not looking for a sidekick, and he's like, how do you know you're not my sidekick? And he's like, but this is my show type thing. So I think that's really a cool idea, kind of a play on not him really breaking the fourth wall or anything, but that this is his ordeal, right, type thing. So I think that's really a fun way of playing with that. That was a fun reference there. And then and then they end up finding Piranha, who's been eaten by piranhas. So Bushmaster has gotten all of Mariah Dillard's assets and stuff, all of her money. The police captain, we find out that the police captain, we see him with Tilda telling him that Piranha's been eaten by piranhas, and we find out that he's also had a relationship with her back in high school and stuff, and so it's revealed that it's insinuated that he was the father, and what happens at the end kind of really confirms that he probably is the father to Tilda, and they end up even mentioning how old she is, so there might be something up behind them and who her true father is and what it means, and it would be cool to see where things go with that and how things end up changing and how that's going to change. Until then, how is she going to find out, and how is it going to affect her when she finds out all that stuff? And then we see Comanche ends up killing the police captain, and that's when Shades ends up killing him because he finds out that he clearly can see that Comanche was snitching to the police captain. He makes it a murder-suicide type thing, murder who killed each other type thing. So that was an interesting idea. See, that's the thing with Comanche. The idea that Shades kind of killed him to me was not like, oh, well, yeah, of course he's going to kill him. He was snitching on him, It didn't seem like, oh my God, it was deserved, or it didn't seem like a moment or anything because they had built up their story. It's just I didn't care about their relationship. So it's like I really didn't care about Shades killing the guy. So it really didn't seem like, oh yeah, you were blinded by the love for the guy and and the respect for him. Their history together. So I don't know. It's just kind of. It just should have been if they tried to make it a moment and it wasn't a moment, and it kind of failed and landed pretty flat that moment. It was bigger when the captain got shot than it was for Comanche to get shot by Shades, his best friend type thing. And then Bushmaster ends up giving Tilda the option to save her mother, so he sets them out, the two of them up in their house, and lights it on fire, but lets her go, and it looks like she takes a minute before sits just standing there in the fire, which was kind of weird because we should have seen her. We cut away and we come back, and she'd be standing there for like 10 minutes, just sitting there, or 5 minutes, just sitting there watching her mother almost about to burn in there. That's really didn't look well the way they cut that, the way they cut away with her just standing there watching her mother tied up, and then the way they cut back to it after watching Luke talk to his father, watching all kinds of stuff going on with the police captain, him getting shot, and Misty, meeting the guy at the bar and hearing about her police captain, then going to see the police captain in the body in the crime scene, all that stuff, and then we get back to Tilda and Mariah, and she then just sits there and then goes after and starts untying her mother, trying to untie her mother. So it seemed a bit weird that it looked like the way they edited that, it didn't look like she went immediately and chose to immediately save her mother and didn't think twice. It looked like she stood there for 5-10 minutes watching, not knowing what to do, then went and helped. I think that would have been if that's what they wanted to do, then what they should have done is waited till Luke Cage shows up, he busts through the door, and she's still frozen there in fear, not knowing what to do type thing. That would have made more sense. It would have been a different ideas to, would have made more tension between Mariah and Tilda and their relationship. That would have been interesting to dealing with that as for her type thing. And if she had been burnt a little bit, maybe not dead, but kind of burnt enough to kind of, permanently put her out for the season type thing, and then changing her completely after the season. Maybe it could have been an interesting idea to see that, and her blaming herself and just seeing where things are going to go with this. But now it just looked a bit weird, and it didn't make sense as to how, if she did spend almost 10 minutes or 5 minutes just staring at her mother while she's tied up and the place was burning, it really didn't make sense how she didn't just catch her fire, all that, because Mariah was wearing a lot of baggy clothes type of thing that would have caught on the flames that are on the floor and all that stuff, which I don't know why Bushmaster didn't, he seems like the type of guy who would have doused her in gasoline and then throw the flame in the other end of the room, let it get really hot, but knowing she's soaking wet in gasoline too, so I don't know why he didn't do that, but I guess he was giving her the option to run and save her mother type thing. And then Luke ends up saving Mariah, and that's when he jumps in, and the CGI when they're in the fire with Mariah and everything, holy crap, it was a terrible, super fake CGI, almost as bad as as almost as bad as some of the CGI on the CW shows sometimes. So that was really bad. It was kind of terrible. So that was kind of annoying. And then Mariah wants to hire Luke Cage, so probably as a bodyguard. He's not going to do anything to compromise himself. So at this point, we're at episode 7. It's still no freaking Danny Rand. So it's like, is he going to show up in this? And if he's only going to show up for it seems like he's going to show up for 1, maybe 2 episodes. Why would they have revealed it at this point? He's still not in the show. Episode 7, more than halfway through the show, and I've finished more episodes than there are left, and no Danny Rand. And why would you reveal that so early on, before they even started production, before they even started filming? It was out there that he was in that show. So I don't know. Hopefully he has this costume. That'll be a really cool idea. That'll be really awesome. That'll save this show, as if Danny Rand shows up at least with the mask on, and then he get the full costume in his own show. I remember seeing him at Ottawa Comic Con around here and stuff, but asking him questions, and he always talks about the mask. And I know that Vin Jones really wants to wear the mask, really get a stunt double to do better martial arts and stuff. And he did promise better martial arts and better, more training and stuff this time. So that's why I'm really excited to see where things go and how things kind of have improved for Iron Fist whenever he shows up in this. But at this point, I would have not let it out. It was kind of stupid to let it out, but like I keep saying, the people who, for set photos, that's one thing. Yes, it gets out, but people who go online and search for set photos are not worried about spoilers, so it doesn't matter for those people. That's why I see, if you don't want to hear, if it's going to be a secret like that, keep it out, keep it away. And people who want to keep things secret won't go looking for spoilers on the internet. And the people who go looking for spoilers and go looking at set photos and all that stuff, that's on them for looking at spoilers. So that's the way I would have done this, especially with this in this show. Now, if Danny had been in like episodes, like from episode 3 on or episode 2 on or whatever, then it would have been like, okay, maybe just let it out there, because it'd be so many set photos out there that it would be all over the internet type thing. But at this point, it's only not even in half the episodes. He's probably not into like episode 12 or 13 or maybe 11 at the earliest, maybe 10 at the earliest, really. But I don't think he's being in any more episodes than that. You can maybe at the end of episode 10, and then we have 3 episodes with him completely in it type thing. But other than that, I just don't see why they would have let that out and kept that for the bigger reveal later on. So here, I don't know, I wouldn't have done that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. What do you think about it? Season 2, episode 6 and 7. And what do you think about this season so far? And where do you think things are going? What do you think of the CGI? And yeah, it's really cool though seeing Misty Knight using her arm and stuff, and now that she's no longer working for the police. I would like to see a spin-off series with Misty Knight and Colleen Wing teaming up. I think that would be a really cool team-up series, and it'd be quite interesting to see that, and they could get their own storyline and all that, and it would be quite cool to see them teaming up, doing their own things, and becoming like a spin-off sidekick series type thing. It would be quite cool to see that, giving them their own, making them not sidekicks to the other male superheroes. Could be an interesting idea to play with that, and it would be quite fun to see where things going. But they'd have to really write better than this season and Iron Fist season 1. So fingers crossed to seeing where things are going with this, but hopefully you can set up something a little bit better for Luke Cage season 3 than it is going on now. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. Where do you think things are going? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh, and I'll be trying to watch some more episodes tonight of Luke Cage. If not, I'll have to watch an episode a night as when I get home from work during the week. But I think I'm going out for the rest of the day today, and we'll see what time I get back. And I'll be doing some more episodes later tonight if I'm not home too late. If not, I'll have to space them out throughout the week as I come home, come home real late after 12-hour shifts of work type thing. So yeah, we'll see when I can get another videos up, but I will finish this season no matter what. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.